Hello, welcome. My name is Brandon Wheeler, and this video is a very personal one, talking about today. Well, not when I'm filming this, but the day this video has been being released, schedule-wise. July 18th, 2023 marks 1 year since this happened. On July 18th, because it's easy for me to remember because it's 2 days before my brother's birthday. He was turning 35 last year. We're going to go out to the range and everything. I was stationed at Fort Hood, now Fort Cavazos. I was first selected to be part of like a rehearsal for a ceremony thing, changing command ceremony, something like that, later on in the week, and I did that earlier in the day before going out to the range. We were standing out there for a long time and everything, but then I got to go to the range in the afternoon, so I got time to eat lunch and everything. Go to the range, trying to zero because we're trying to qualify and all that. And I kept having trouble seeing because my glasses wear and, fogging up. And just my eyes are getting tired trying to see through the chute. Having a lot of difficulty trying to zero. Kept complaining a lot about my eyes. From what I know, that day was one of the hottest days on record in Texas, and I thought, being from Georgia, I can handle the heat. Heat in Texas and heat in Georgia are two separate different heats. But couldn't really zero, but I was like, screw it, I'll just qualify anyway. I went through all the water in my canteen, and I was going through all the water in my Camelback, and before getting on the truck to drive down to the next range to qualify, because this is quite a long drive, I had a thought, my water tastes funny. We get down there, I'm just thinking, I don't feel well. We stop, and I stand up to try to get out of the truck, and it's just like, I can't. I fall backward into my seat on the truck. I didn't hit my head or anything. I just know I fell backward in my seat and I couldn't do anything. I couldn't talk. I couldn't think. That was the weirdest thing. I could not think at all. Like, I could not. It's like I could think like in the back of my head, but I couldn't think forward of my head. I knew of everything going on. Like, the guy next to me was like, "Wheeler, you okay? Wheeler, you okay? Wheeler, you okay?" And I couldn't respond. I couldn't do anything. I was kind of like this blank look that I couldn't do anything. They got the medics over. They tried cooling me down, rubbing ice on my head. They didn't exactly take off all my clothes. They just took off my shoes, loosened my pant legs, took off my top and armor and all that. Tried rubbing ice on me. I don't know how long I was out there. They didn't take me to the hospital. They took me to the company. But when I was at the company, when I was cooling off, I was trying to talk to the sergeant that was in the office, and I couldn't talk. All it was just coming out of tough. A lot worse than that. But I couldn't talk. My platoon sergeant did take me to the hospital when he came by to check on me. I showed him I couldn't talk. I wrote on the board, like, can't talk. They did scans and everything. They don't know what happened to me. Heat stroke, something heat related. ever since then, I couldn't talk. I did find I put a pen in my mouth, and I realized I could kind of talk doing this. That's how I did it in the first video the day after when I recorded what happened to me. I was texting with my mom the whole time because that's the only way I could talk at the time was texting. But my mom eventually sent me these straws where I figured I'd talk with them. Basically, it comes down, I have to be biting down on something to talk for whatever reason, like without F and very difficult. I don't know what it is. It was weird because I could, when I was completely alone, I could talk, but then as soon as I get near someone, I couldn't talk anymore. I was just like, what the heck? I can talk there, and why can't I talk here, there? It was weird finding that dichotomy and stuff, and I was just like, what is the issue? Why can't I talk about it? Is it something psychological? Why did the heat cause that? What is this? And I don't have any answers. There were a few times where I could talk out loud, like a few times it came out normally without anything, without biting down on something. But it, I didn't realize I was doing it. It's like I was busy working on something, then something interrupted, and then I could talk briefly, and then I realized, oh wait, I can talk, and then it would go away. I was just like, what? It's confusing and everything. I just don't understand it. But I haven't had anything like that since last November, though. From what I can tell, ever since about November, I haven't had anything like that. It's been constant like this. My speech did improve to the point about where you could understand me, but it was still very bad. But you could understand me without the straw, but I always kept something around to talk in case it's too much. And if I got cold or if I'm very tired, I know I'd go chattery real bad a lot, so it's just kind of like, eh. But this past May, when I was with a different group, went out for something, it was very hot. And I know the first time I argued, yes, I was drinking a lot of water and everything. I know I had a lot of water, but this past time I could say, yeah, there wasn't necessarily a lot of water. They took away the water buffalo because they're trying to move to a different area, and so I didn't have as much water as I would normally have. I only had a few bottles of water. It was extremely hot. But I guess I was showing signs of kind of like maybe looking lost or so. So the group had me go get checked out, but for some reason, when I get there, I couldn't talk again. And what's worse, I couldn't even talk with a straw. I couldn't talk even biting down on something. And that lasted for a week where I couldn't talk. And it's just like, oh, that sucks. But getting it back after a week was such a relief. It was so good. But that's twice things happened. I mean, yeah, it wasn't nearly as severe as the first time, but still, it sucks so bad. I mean, what happens the third time? Will it permanently go away? I hope not. Pray not. I mean, I did have a thought going out in the range I would be okay. Like the Lord's telling me I'm going to be alright. And I'm alive. But this marks a 1-year anniversary since all this happened. Essentially, where this has forever altered my life. Possibly permanently. I'll admit I am very hesitant at times going out into the heat without water for any reason. It's made me afraid I won't be able to say people's names right and speak right. I mean, this is the most normal thing I could do. I could live with this, but not being able to go outside, that sucks. Limited time during COVID, I realized how much I really do want to go outside. I don't want to be cooped up inside. Dealt enough with that in Korea. But I'm thankful I'm alive, because whatever happened to me, I mean, just reading about heat stroke, whether it was heat stroke or not, I don't know, heat exhaustion, something, it can be fatal. And I'm fortunate to be alive, even though I don't know exactly what happened to me, but it's been probably until about November, probably one of the more roughest times of my life because of this. I fight the idea that I look like a idiot, always having a straw in the mouth or whatever. I mean, people were just ask, "Is he just chewing on a straw for some reason?" No, I'm not a smoker. Never smoked. Don't want to. If I did, it'd be a cigar, but I don't want to pick that up. Dad smoked cigars and gave that up. I don't want to pick up something he gave up. But either way, it's just been very challenging, especially the first couple months, because my head wasn't all probably in the right place. But a solemn little event, but something that I may forever have to deal with. Like, I thought, like, writing my experiences of military stuff in the book, which I just wouldn't mind doing. I thought years ago, I was like, oh, I'll call it probably a certain title, but depending because of all of this and eventually how long after the military when I write it, like time period, whatever, I think I'm going to call the book Straw Man. Obvious reason. But I just made this video mostly to mark this occasion and to thank everyone who's helped me and prayed for me throughout this whole thing. All my friends and family, the Navigator Church group in Texas, the Landmark Baptist Church in Texas, my command and everything, Hillcrest Baptist Church, my home church back at home, escape room people online, forum people too, everyone else who watched the videos, just to pray for me and everything. I mean, people were praying for me in other countries too. People send me videos of people praying at another church in like Costa Rica or something. Thank you for that. And if I can ever talk right again, per se, but I'm glad to still be around and everything. So, just thank you. And I hope to be around for a long time.